Good morning. My name is Lillian Govis, Buncombe County Director of Communications and Public Engagement, and this is your community briefing for Wednesday, January 29th. We are happy to report that FCC is maintaining collection rates at or above 98%. So for my neighbors in Swannanoa, today is indeed trash day. We also have an important update for folks who are heading to the FEMA Disaster Recovery Center. Due to facility issues, FEMA will close the Disaster Recovery Center at Asheville Mall tonight at 6 p.m., January 29th. Two new disaster recovery centers are now open. The Fairview Public Library at 1 Taylor Road in Fairview. This is also a private property debris intake center, so you can do both of those things at the same location. Even though this library is closed on Mondays and Tuesdays, the location will be open in the community room on these days. So it is open Monday through Saturday. Second location is Weaverville Town Hall at 30 South Main Street in Weaverville. You can visit any open center. To find one near you, visit the DRC locator at www.fema.gov/DRC. No appointment is needed. Hours at all of the DRC locations are 8 a.m. to 6 p.m. Monday through Friday and 9 a.m. to 2 p.m. on Saturdays. Last week, we shared with you how you may start seeing stickers like these on titled property, like cars, RVs, and trailers in the public rights-of-way that had been displaced by the storm. This is part of the overall debris process, and despite what rumors you may have seen on social media, these are not parking tickets. No one is getting fined. No one is going to jail. This helps us reach out to these property owners about these vehicles, and if their insurance won't collect them, we will. The other piece to know about this is no one is going to get a bill about this. We are going to submit this to reimbursement to FEMA. Along the lines of debris, we're also very happy to share that the Army Corps of Engineers and their subcontractors will begin waterway debris cleanup in the coming days. One final piece of timely information. If you have walked outside today, you know how windy it is. While air quality is good, these windy conditions can make fires very unsafe, especially with the amount of fuel that we have, like downed trees. The fire marshal is discouraging any open burning today. Of course, open burning does not include fires that are used for cooking or those that are contained in pits. Please make sure that all fire is attended and you have a means of extinguishment on hand. Keep fires small and manageable. And the fire marshal also asks that you keep those fires 25 feet away from combustible vegetation and structures. Today, we'll hear from Catherine Cutshaw, Collection Manager with the Buncombe County Special Collections, who will discuss a project to collect, preserve, and present the stories and digital record of the Western North Carolina communities impacted by Tropical Storm Helene. We'll also hear from Allison Daines, our Buncombe County Parks and Recreation Director, with updates on facilities and programming. We also have Deborah Campbell and representatives from the City of Asheville here. But no, Clay Chandler is not here to talk about turbidity today. But first, we have County Manager Avril Pinder.
Good morning. Before we start, I know we've been getting a lot of questions about what different executive orders and proposed pauses in funding means for us. The short answer is we don't fully know. There is no magic wand, and they don't necessarily automatically take effect immediately. Oftentimes, like with the recent pause in federal funding, they do go to the courts. Our staff is monitoring these and working in real time to identify potential impacts. Our biggest concern is how survivors are impacted, and we are in communication with our state funding partners to learn more. So moving on, a heads up about in-person resource events taking place in our community. The first is taking place tomorrow. Farmers and agricultural workers impacted by Hurricane Helene can join FEMA for the Agriculture Recovery Fair from 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. at AB Tech Community College in Asheville. This event is hosted by FEMA, USDA, North Carolina Department of Agriculture, Small Business Association, Farm Service Agency, and more. If you are a farmer, rancher, nursery owner, vineyard owner, honeybee grower, fish producer, or anyone in agriculture, this event is for you. Please bring proof of ownership, photos of damage or lost equipment, and estimated replacement costs. The event is tomorrow, Thursday, January 30th, at AB Tech Community College in the Big Ivy building from 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. The other recovery events taking place are hosted by us, Buncombe County. For any survivor looking for help, we invite you to join us for the Resources for Recovery series. You can drop in anytime between 5 p.m. and 7 p.m. and talk with representatives from permits, planning, FEMA, North Carolina Emergency Management, debris collection, and more. We will also have staff from our parks and libraries if you have questions about these services. We will also have Spanish interpreters available for a Spanish-speaking community. These events will be held from 5 to 7 p.m. on Thursday, February 13th at the Barnersville Fire Station, Thursday, February 20th at the Owen High School cafeteria, Tuesday, February 25th at the Reynolds High School cafeteria, and Thursday, February 27th at the Lester Community Center. While the weather today is thankfully much warmer, we want you to know about disaster energy assistance is available to help you stay warm during these cold months. This is for Buncombe County residents who were impacted by Helene and who need assistance with home heating. This can cover utility bills, deposits, reconnection fees, as well as repair and replacement costs and other heating-related costs such as insulation replacement, coats, and blankets. To be eligible, you must have been impacted by Hurricane Helene and a Buncombe County resident at the time of the application and also at the time of the disaster. You must also have an income that meets the 2025 disaster gross income limit of 60% of the state median income. For example, this is a maximum monthly income of $5,247 for a household of 4. To learn more and apply, you can visit buncombeready.org. Applying online is the fastest and easiest way. You can also apply in person at 40 Cox Avenue in Asheville or by calling 828-250-5500. There are 2 important deadlines coming up for those needing assistance from Helene. Helene survivors have 1 week left to apply for FEMA assistance, which may cover rental aid, utility costs, and other disaster-related expenses. Apply by February 6th at the disasterassistance.gov. Call 1-800-621-3362 or visit the Asheville Mall Monday through Saturday, 8 a.m. to 6 p.m. As a matter of fact, I have another update that will tell you that the Asheville Mall DRC is relocating, so we'll talk about that in a little while. But to apply for your disaster assistance, you can go online to disasterassistance.gov or call 1-800-621-3362. The same February 6th deadline applies for disaster unemployment assistance. Residents and business owners in Buncombe County and other affected areas may qualify if their income and employment was impacted by Hurricane Helene. Apply at des.nc.gov. FEMA is continuing to assist Western North Carolina residents impacted by Helene. To date, FEMA has provided over $103 million in individual and housing assistance to Buncombe County residents. This includes assistance for home repairs and replacement, rental assistance, lodging expenses, transitional sheltering, direct housing, as well as other expenses such as personal property and displacement assistance. In Western North Carolina, FEMA has approved $318 million in public assistance to support community recovery. This includes debris removal, roads and bridge repairs, and more. So 318 million in Western North Carolina, 103 million in Buncombe County. Residents in transition shelter and assistance, or the TSA program, are receiving temporary hotel stays while they work towards permanent housing solutions. TSA will continue through May 26, 2025 for those who meet eligibility, but regular eligibility reviews are continuing. The goal for this program is to get people back home or in longer-term housing. If you have been notified about a change in your eligibility or need further help, call 800-621-3362 or visit a disaster recovery center. And the new locations for the disaster recovery center that's leaving the mall is the Fairview Library, as Lillian mentioned, or Weaverville Town Hall. If you're a survivor and you like individualized support navigating programs, the North Carolina Disaster Care Management Program is a great option for you. By registering for this program, a case manager will help you with a recovery plan for your specific needs. They'll help you find available resources and walk through challenges caused by the storm. You don't have to navigate recovery alone. To get started, call 844-746-2326 or fill out the NCDCM Disaster Case Management, North Carolina Disaster Case Management, NCDEM intake survey at buncombeready.org. Again, you can call 844-746-2326 or go to buncombeready.org and fill out the NCDCM intake survey. Steady progress continues to be made in removing storm debris from our community. Debris crews are continuing to collect from the public right-of-ways and have 33 trucks running. But due to temporary pause in reporting, the Army Corps of Engineers under the Department of Defense is not able to provide us with an updated number. In all areas except for Swannanoa, they are beginning their second pass of collections. As Lillian said, they would also start waterway collections in the coming days, so you will begin to see movement there. On January 31st, ash brick or debris contractor will no longer collect black bags from the right-of-ways. Moving forward, please only place clear bags of debris in the right-of-way for pickup. Progress also continues to be made with private property debris removal. The private property debris removal program has made a lot of progress with over 2,000 applications submitted to the program. And the process is on track for the work of debris removal to begin in February. This program allows crews to enter your private residential or commercial property so they can access debris and remove it for free. Both home property owners and small business owners may qualify. If you haven't already applied and need help, we can't encourage you enough to do so now. Intake centers are located at Black Mountain Library, Barnersville Fire Department, Swannanoa Fire and Rescue, that's the Bee Tree Substation, and Fairview Library. Today is the last day the intake center is open at the Asheville Mall. So for more details or to apply 24/7, you can visit buncombeready.org. And lastly, community care stations. Showers, laundry, bottled water, and more resources are available in our most impacted communities daily from 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. Those locations are Bethel United Methodist, Fairview Ingalls, Owen Pool, and Morgan Hill Baptist Church. We don't have any changes to report to these schedules at this time. And now I'll turn it over to Catherine Cutshaw from our special collections.
Good morning. My name is Catherine Cutshaw, and it's my privilege to oversee the Buncombe County Special Collections Library. Buncombe County Special Collections is dedicated to actively collecting, preserving, promoting, and providing equal access to the history of Asheville, Buncombe County, and the surrounding area. We're proud of our historic resources and are committed to preserving them for the future through preservation, digitization, and decreasing barriers to public access. In the weeks and months following Tropical Storm Helene, members of our community have reached out to our library seeking photographs and information about past weather events and wondering about our plans for documenting the impact of this most recent disaster. Many have expressed interest in contributing materials like photographs, videos, oral histories, and creative responses like essays and poetry to our archive. In response to the community's desires, over the last several weeks, my team, with the support of the Friends of Buncombe County Special Collections and Auxiliary Support Group, and more than a dozen volunteers, have been working behind the scenes to develop a community-led project that will preserve a record of our experiences as a community in the aftermath of Tropical Storm Helene. The initiative, Come Hell or High Water, officially launched last Wednesday, January 22nd. Come Hell or High Water is a collaborative community memory project to collect, preserve, and present the stories and digital record of the Western North Carolina communities impacted by Tropical Storm Helene. Through this project, we hope to offer pathways for community reflection, healing, and long-term development of community memory not afforded to victims of past disasters like the Great Flood of 1916. Come Hell or High Water is a multifaceted effort, but at its heart is a crowdsourcing campaign aimed at building a comprehensive digital archive to document the impact of Helene in Western North Carolina. Through the newly launched Digital Memory Bank, the public is invited to share personal stories, videos, photos, audio recordings, and other digital materials related to the storm and its impact. In addition to crowdsourced materials, Come Hell or High Water features scientific and environmental data, media coverage of the storm, and a collection of historical photos of past significant weather events in Western North Carolina. These resources provide a deeper understanding of Tropical Storm Helene's impact by offering data-driven and historical context to individual experiences. The project is hosted via omeka.net, a web publishing platform for showcasing digital archival collections. By visiting the Come Hell or High Water portal, anyone can contribute materials, including personal written accounts, photographs, videos, or audio files to be considered for the archive. We've already seen a tremendous outpouring of support for the project. More than a dozen volunteers have offered their time and expertise to the Friends of the Buncombe County Special Collections to support the initiative, and there have already been more than 50 items contributed to the archive. In addition to the Digital Memory Bank, there are plans in the works to collect oral histories, thanks to financial support from the Preservation Society of Asheville and Buncombe County, and showcase creative responses to the disaster, like the Reclaim the Rad installation currently on exhibit in our library. Offer relevant programming to the community, and more. Our role as archivists is not necessarily to lead the project. Rather, our library is here to offer support to groups and individuals who wish to preserve their memories of the storm for future generations. As a community-driven project, Come Hell or High Water will morph over time in response to the community submissions and desires. It is a tremendous honor, privilege, and responsibility to serve as the custodian of some of our community's most cherished historical documents. While many of the records we hold in the public trust are hundreds of years old, history happens each and every day. As 21st century archivists, we have the opportunity to ensure that a wider variety of voices and perspectives are represented in the historical record through projects like Come Hell or High Water. My team and I have endless gratitude for the community members who entrust us with caring for items that represent their sacred memories. We are delighted that with the support from the Friends of Buncombe County Special Collections, the Preservation Society of Asheville and Buncombe County, and other community volunteers and contributors, that we are able to provide this resource that will preserve our shared experience and shape community memory for decades to come. To learn more about Come Hell or High Water and to contribute to the Digital Memory Bank, you can visit buncombecounty.org/library, where you will see a link to the project website that you see here at the top of the page. You're also invited to drop by the Buncombe County Special Collections Library. We're located on the lower level of Pack Memorial Library, or get involved by emailing the Friends of Buncombe County Special Collections at friendsbcsc@gmail.com. Thank you.
Catherine will stick around if we have questions at the end of this. And she did confirm if anyone can't get enough of these briefings, that they will all be archived there. So you can watch to your heart's delight. Next, we have Allison Danes, our Buncombe County Parks and Recreation Director.
Good morning. I appreciate the opportunity to bring you some important updates and good news from the Parks and Recreation Department. In the wake of the impacts of Hurricane Helene, Buncombe County Parks and Recreation has had some significant challenges. Many parks were affected by storm damage, including falling trees, flooding, and structural issues that have made some areas unsafe for the public to use. Several parks have been devastated by the hurricane. We know how deeply the destruction of Owen Park has impacted our community. And we want to reassure you that we are committed to reimagining and reopening this space. This will take time, and your input will be key to the process. We'll be gathering community feedback to ensure that the new Owen Park reflects the needs of those who love and use it the most. While it'll take time to plan, design, fund, and build, we are dedicated to bringing this park back better than before. We're also working hard to restore the Carpin soccer fields. We understand how important this space is for local teams and families, and we're doing what we can to restore this amenity as quickly as possible and look forward to the day that we can reopen this important amenity. The Collier Cove Nature Preserve has also experienced some significant damage, including fallen trees and landslides. We're actively working to clear debris. Several areas of terrain will need to be stabilized to ensure that the preserve is safe and ready for reopening. Your understanding is really appreciated as we work through this restoration. It's important for the community to know that we are conducting thorough tree assessments and ongoing maintenance at all of our park locations. This will ensure public spaces are safe and accessible for visitors. We're actively removing hazards and improving infrastructure to provide the best experience possible for residents in our parks. You may see activity where debris removal is occurring, but please remember that just because debris has been cleared does not mean that the park is fully safe to enter. There may still be other hazards, such as unstable ground in the parks or damaged infrastructure that prevent the park from reopening. Your safety is truly our top priority, and please, we ask that you refrain from entering closed park areas. We appreciate your cooperation as we work to restore these areas to make them enjoyable for everyone. Now for the really good news that I'm excited to report regarding the parks that we have been able to open for the public to use. We've been working to restore and improve these spaces and are excited to welcome you back to many of our parks and facilities. This includes the North Buncombe Complex and Hominy Valley Park, which are fully open and ready for visitors to participate in all activities. Cane Creek Playground is open, but I do want to note that the field at the Cane Creek Park continues to be used as a major debris site for cleanup. So that space is currently unavailable for recreation at this time. We do, however, look forward to opening the Cane Creek Pool this summer, along with all other Buncombe County pools, including Hominy Valley, Irwin, North Buncombe, and Owen pools as scheduled starting Memorial Day weekend. We're excited to announce that the Buncombe County Sports Park is fully open for outdoor recreation. This is something for everyone, whether you're playing soccer, enjoying disc golf, or spending time at the dog park. It's the perfect spot for families to get outside and be active together. Come enjoy the fields, courses, walking track, and open spaces. We can't wait to see you recreating outside. Lake Julian is nearly 100% open to park goers, thanks to the hard work of our general service crews, the Army Corps of Engineers, and the park staff. Our teams worked to ensure that the Festival of Lights was able to take place this past December, bringing back a beloved winter tradition for many families. It's important to note that nearly 200 trees were safely removed from both sides of the Lake Julian Park, allowing us to reopen key areas for your enjoyment. The lake is open for fishing and boating, along with the marina, walking paths, playgrounds, shelters, and most of the disc golf course, including holes 9 to 12 and 15 to 23. As you visit Lake Julian, please remember to respect signage and fencing marking off unsafe and eroded areas. Finally, we're focusing on our river parks as part of the Waterway Cleanup Initiative. While the opening of these parks may be delayed on some riverfront parks, we're excited about the long-term improvements that'll benefit from these spaces. We appreciate the groups working with the Parks and Recreation Department on cleanups, and we'll continue to collaborate with them moving forward. Bent Creek and Cochrane Page River parks are currently open to the public. We also are excited to announce that our core programming has been going on throughout the county. CORE stands for Community Outreach and Recreation Experiences. This is a mobile recreation van that is going out into community and to those hit hardest by the devastating effects of Hurricane Helene. For more information about location of our core van, please go to Buncombe County Parks and Recreation Facebook. We sincerely appreciate your patience and support as we work diligently to restore and enhance our parks. Your involvement is important to us, and we're excited to welcome you back to the parks that are safe to open. So we hope to see you enjoying the parks again soon, and I look forward to future updates. Thank you. I did want to remind everyone again that our swimming pools will be open starting Memorial Day at the 5 different locations that I previously mentioned coming up soon. So we'll continue to keep you informed of that.
All right, now we will turn things over to City of Asheville with City Manager Deborah Campbell and guests.
Thank you, Lillian. Good morning. As was mentioned, my name is Deborah Campbell, and I serve as the City Manager of Asheville. As usual, I want to start by thanking everyone in the community for your continued support and your ongoing efforts to contribute to our community's recovery from Tropical Storm Helene. We are on day 126 of our emergency response and recovery efforts. Today, the city team will have brief updates on Asheville Parks and Recreation Sites, a benefit event this weekend, and the Helene Recovery Priorities Survey. I'll now turn it over to Dee Tyrell, Director of the Asheville Parks and Recreation Department. And I guess we should say your last name sometimes, right? Dee Tyrell McGirt, Director of the Asheville Parks and Recreation Department. Come on, Dee.
Good morning. When Helene swept across the region in September, it left unprecedented destruction, including an estimated $1 billion in damages to vital municipally owned properties and assets, including streets, greenways, parks, and other facilities. As the community works to rebound and rebuild, some public recreation amenities will not be available for extended periods. Asheville Parks and Recreation understands the importance of dog parks, pools, outdoor courts and fields for volleyball, soccer, and other sports. So we are actively researching alternative locations to provide similar amenities while we work with FEMA on comprehensive official damage assessments and site inspections. It is essential for FEMA inspectors to be able to physically see the damage in order to estimate the cost of rebuilding. Cost recovery through FEMA would be critical source of funding, enabling the city to rebuild, so going through the process is necessary. Until alternative locations are secure, the Asheville Parks and Recreation team has suggestions for a number of activities such as other off-leash dog parks in the area, as well as other areas that are fun to explore with your dog on leash. Indoor volleyball times at community centers that have gymnasiums and parks with large flat lawn areas to play grass volleyball. We will also have a volleyball net checkout system in place soon. Spots for recreational skating like basketball courts and greenways, other disc golf courses, and more. Head to asheville.nc.gov/parks for more information. We also plan to reopen areas that are currently closed as they are deemed safe. It is likely that this would take place in phases. So in the meantime, if you are missing your favorite park or recreation area, please contact us at parks@asheville.nc.gov, and we may be able to suggest an alternative location. Next slide. An update on pools. While the full extent of damage is still coming into focus, we do know that the pool at Recreation Park suffered major structural damage. This means that the City of Asheville will only open the public pool at the Dr. Wesley Grant Senior Southside Community Center this year. Next slide. However, the pool will be open for longer hours, and the Asheville Parks and Recreation team are actively seeking partners to provide pool access in other parts of the city. We're working to provide as many alternative locations as possible, but we want to share this information early so families and community members can plan for the warm weather that is still months away. Some of that planning may include attending Asheville Parks and Recreation free offerings like Splashville, which is located in Pack Square Park, our water and foam parties in parks throughout the city, Buncombe County pools, and other pools operated by other organizations. If your organization is interested in partnering to provide community pool access, please contact us at parks@asheville.nc.gov. And last slide, the community engagement and design phase for the new pool at Malvern Hills Park is expected to start this year. We'll be ready to provide a timeline and more information next month. I turn it back over to our city manager, Deborah Campbell.
Thank you, Dee. So we are pleased to announce that this Sunday, the City of Asheville's Department of Community and Regional Entertainment is providing Harris Cherokee Center, Asheville, as the venue for the Stars Serving Up Love charity tennis event. The event features Tennis Hall of Fame players Andre Agassi and Andy Roddick, as well as two current women's top 10 players in Emma Navarro and Jessica Pagalou. And if I pronounce that last name wrong, I apologize. This event will donate 100% of the net proceeds, including direct donations from the online auction to local area nonprofits, including Always Asheville Fund, Asheville Area Habitat for Humanity, United Way of Buncombe County, Asheville Tennis Association. In total, the event is expected to raise more than $1 million for area charities. Tickets can be purchased at starsservinguplove.com. Our recovery priority survey. At this time, 6,015 community members have participated in the recovery priorities survey. It's essential that all voices in our community are heard to ensure that decisions and resources reflect the needs of everyone. If you haven't yet taken the survey, we strongly encourage you to do so. The survey is available in multiple languages, including English, Spanish, Ukrainian, and Russian, and can be accessed through the QR code on the screen or visiting this web address, publicinput.com/Helene Recovery Survey, or by clicking the virtual engagement hub link on the front page of the city's website at asheville.nc.gov. Survey results will be shared with Asheville City Council and will directly inform discussions at their annual retreat on February 13th and 14th, helping to guide decisions on recovery priorities in the coming year. And as I shared last week, this is a first step in recovery engagement, and there will be additional engagement opportunities in the coming months. And in closing, I'd like to extend my continued thanks to the mayor and city council, all of our dedicated City of Asheville employees, our other partners in the county, state, and federal government, as well as our private and nonprofit partners who continue to work around the clock to help restore our community. And now I'd like to turn it back over to Lily.
Thank you. Some of our staffers of a certain age are very excited about the Fallout Boy guy, so we'll see about getting him on a community briefing. We are going to turn things over to folks from the media who are joining us on a separate Zoom link. I think we've got John Boyle, WLOS online.
Hey, Lillian, I did have a question for Allison. I sounded echoey there for a second.
It's okay.
Can you hear me?
Yep, we can hear you just fine.
Okay.
Allison's on her way up, and she knows that you're going to ask her about Owen Pool. Or Owen Park.
Okay. Owen Park, right, good.
Yes, go ahead.
Hey, Allison, good morning. I have had several people ask about the park, which I know you mentioned. Do you have any rough timetable on how long this might take? Because it's badly damaged out there. And would y'all be able to, or can you rely or count on any FEMA funds to help fix?
So we don't currently have a timeline. As you just said, there was an immense amount of damage out at Owen Park. But we're committed to rebuilding that park. And we totally intend on a full community outreach and engagement in order to talk with the community, engage, see what kind of new amenities they'd like to see built there. And during that process, we'll be exploring every opportunity for funding in order to make that come to fruition.
Thank you.
And we do have giant banners that ask folks not to enter Owen Park as it's closed. And so we do ask, please respect those banners. It is not safe for folks to enter that park at this time. Additional questions from folks? Anything on the chat, Angelica? Angelica says no. We're still thinking about Fallout Boy. All right. A couple housekeeping things. Permits office. They are going to open at 9 a.m. on the last working day of every month. This is so that the permit staff can have a staff meeting on that morning. So the last Friday of the month is coming up. They are going to open at 9 a.m. on that day. I think that's Friday. And then January 31st, that is our property listing deadline. These were mailed out to property owners, but we know some folks are experiencing are unable to collect their mail due to damage. So you can also download those at buncombecounty.org/property assessment. If your business was destroyed, you list that on the form. If you sold your business or closed your business, you're going to be listing that on the form. If your business was damaged, that also needs to be listed on the property listing form. Don't miss that January 31st, 5 p.m. deadline so that you can avoid any late listing penalties. As we close things out, we want to thank folks for joining us here every week. We're still seeing thousands of you tune in, and we don't have any plans to change the schedule at this time. If you would like to hear about a certain topic, or if you'd like us to invite a community partner or Fallout Boy on, email those ideas to us at pio@buncombecounty.org. PIO stands for Public Information Officer at buncombecounty.org. And we'll see if we can't help bring folks here who you'd like to hear from in the recovery process. Of course, we encourage you to stay up to date by signing up for our alerts at www.buncombecounty.org/code red or text BC alert to 99411. And with that, we will close things out today, and we will look forward to seeing you next month in February. It will be a week from now for our next community briefing.